back to Calmsden and it is still late November. It's pretty grim weather, and we are going to grab ourselves the Kubota skid steer. I'm going to lease it with all the weights on the back and a set of pallet forks because I'm still not sure about buying this, so I'm going to lease it and see how we get on. I've realized that the heavy snow we are getting is because I have the fixed visual month set to December, and that also seems to affect the weather, which kind of screwed us on the last video because I could have probably carried on with the seeding that I wanted to do, but I put it to December because of the flickering trees. So yeah, that's a little bit annoying. So if any of you can remember the graphics setting I need to change to stop the trees flickering, please comment below because I can't. The other option is that I will just avoid November and maybe should have gone to October rather than November for the fixed visual month. Anyway, to test out the skid steer, or the Kubota skid steer, we've brought it up to the greenhouses because we have a full set of lettuce pallets. We have some nice November lettuce growing, and we've got some honey pallets, so we're going to sell those, and then I want to shift around the hay bales, which is kind of what I wanted this for anyway, so we're going to get that done as well. Next game day, the weather does actually improve, thankfully, and we're going to finish off the grass mulching and get some ploughing done. We have a little bit of ploughing left to do, and that will pretty much be the winter field work done until spring. As far as I am aware, there are no contracts at the moment, I guess because it's that kind of time of year. Not sure why I didn't edit out that little pause there, but oh well. Pure professionalism at its best. Also 17. Not bad. 14 grand-ish for that. Those are definitely slowly paying off, and I do plan to expand that area a bit. I'm thinking of putting some of the Omatana open gardens up there. The ones that Mr. CDP is using lots on his Western Wilds save, and I think Cartec's using them as well on Calmsden. They seem to be pretty productive, so yeah, thinking of putting a few of those up there, and it's all these square hay bales that I want to move into that long shed. And this Kubota seems pretty good for shifting bales around. Is kind of what I wanted for. I know I've got the little New Holland skid steer, and if we upgrade to this Kubota, I might actually sell the New Holland because we can always, well, we can't pick up 2 bags of lime. We can always run the skid steer over to the greenhouses on the low loader that we have, because I'm generally selling them at the sell point next to them. The price difference is not big enough that it's worth the trek across the map, I think. And that means we can chuck the skid steer on the back, drive over there, sell them, chuck it back on the trailer and bring them back. So yeah, it's getting a bit dark because we're set to December, but I'm making some progress on moving the bales. I have found that I can't go 4 high because of the fairly low roof beams, but in theory we could get loads of bales in here. I'm just moving the square bales that we got from contracts for now. I think I would like to pick up a square baler when it comes around to hay bale season, possibly even when it comes to silage season as well. I'm not sure. I do quite like the Anderson long stacks of silage bales, but for the hay, I think having square bales that we can stack in the back of this shed will be a really good idea. That's not going to be until summertime because I'm only going to do the 1 cut of hay again. We are definitely not short of hay. Yeah, this skid steer has worked really well for getting these bales stacked up in the shed. The shed was not as high as I thought. I had hoped I could go 4 high all the way along, but nope. Those low roof beams were a bit of a pain. 3 high is all we're going to get. Yeah, you can get so many bales in here because we've only gone 1 wide. So you can see, the weather has improved. We are actually now on the correct visual month of December, but the weather is much better, and we're going to get the last of the bales into the BGA. Have finally got all of those bales from that 1 silaging contract we did sold. I think something else I want to look at upgrading in in the spring probably is our mowers. There are a set that crop up in the sales. There is the rear butterfly mower for the class mowers, but I think if I'm going to go butterfly mowers, I want to get a set that row, and I don't think those class ones do. So might see if we can stretch to the Cavernland ones. That would be kind of nice. There's some nice big tractors. So there you go, there's the class mowers. So I was just looking to see if our case with the fella front mower we have could run those. It's borderline, but I don't think they windrow properly. So yeah, there's some nice kit in the South. This is Deutz 9 series. Oh, that's so tempting. And the 8R, again, so very tempting. But we need to make some cow feed. I think I said last time, I am aiming to go for something really big on here for tractors and equipment as we progress through. I think if we took a few of those big silage contracts, we could make some serious cash and really progress the farm. Particularly as we're getting to the point where we are fairly low on debt. So yeah, it's kind of the long time goal on here to get some of the bigger tractors that I don't use very often. Even on Greenlands, the biggest tractor is an 8RX or the class Arion. So yeah, still no contracts. So we're going to see if we can get a bit of mineral feed in. I have a nightmare with this pallet. I don't know why. I just could not get it on the pallet forks properly. That's not the skid steer, I don't think. I think that's me. But yeah, let's just get a little bit of mineral feed in the mixer and then grab some hay bales. This is going to be the real test of this skid steer. Can it load up the feed wagon? Because that's going to be a big part of its job. And not really, sort of, maybe. Not as well as I would have hoped, I think is the answer. It's just not quite high enough. So I don't know. I don't know if we're going to commit to buying one of these. Another good suggestion I had was the Mini Manitou. That is a really nice little little telehandler, and we could trade the JCB in for that, because the Mini Manitou would do all of the jobs we want it to do, and it could get in these sheds. Pretty sure it could get in these sheds. Anyway, cows are fed, so let's get some straw blown in as well. They do actually need a little bit of straw, and another job for the Kubota, and then we are going to return it on the demo for now. So we leased it for about a day. It's not really cost us a lot, and I'm still not sure. I'm not sure if it is the right bit of kit for this farm. The Mini Manitou might be. We might have to trial a lease of that in a few episodes time, just to see if it's going to fit the job that we want, which is to make better use of these long narrow sheds that we have. If we can clear all of the hay bale, or most of the hay bales, out of the cow shed, then we can use that for storing slightly bigger things. Onto the mulching, we have the secret field and the field up by the garden centre to get mulched up. This will give us a tiny bonus when we get around to mowing it, and it's just me finishing off what I was trying to do at the start of this, setting up this save, and we ran out of time for mulching before. We can then return the mulcher because it is leased, so that will be good. That will be cutting down on our costs, and I have realised, so I check when we finish the mulching, I don't need to fertilise the grass because it's got enough nitrogen for first cut, so we can also return the digestate container that we have leased, so we're going to do that later on as well, and that will get us down to not having anything released. And we've actually got 90 grand in the bank now. The BGA has been ticking away, pays out every hour, so I'm sure all of you know, but young Daggerwin does not. Could not watch the second episode of his Attingham Park series. First one was pretty good, the second one was just painful and I had to stop. Anyway, yeah, so we've actually got enough to pay the loan off now, which we are going to get to in a little while when I realise and remember. So for the first time since pretty much since we started, we are going to be loan free. There we go, which is pretty good because we're just over a year in, and I think that probably means that in the spring we will be hitting the loan hard and the contracts to buy some more fields. I think we can look at buying field 10 and probably turning it into an arable field. I think we'll have, we've got more than enough grass that's not going to be a problem. You've got so many silage bales scattered around the map. I'm contemplating bunging a few of them through the BGA, again, just to keep that cash rolling in. I'm still planning to build a mini BGA as well, down in field 6. I think probably once we have more fields. The reason was the speed, and I have tweaked the speed for silage in the BGA on here because it's just so painfully slow. But also it's a long trek for the digestate. So yeah, I'm thinking, and it's nice to use my own mods. As of today, which is Friday when I'm recording this, the farm dairy is on day 2 of testing with Giants. It's really nice that it was only a 3-day wait to get into testing, and hopefully maybe later today it'll have passed the first round of testing. Normally that first round of testing is really quick, so yeah, I'm kind of surprised that it's still sat there on day 2 of testing. But all the mulching is done. See, all of the grass fields are okay for nitrogen, so I think we can get that returned. And what I did is I emptied the container into our slurry tender because there was about 15,000 litres of digestate in there, and at some point we'll chuck that on one of the grass fields. It won't do any harm. And we have the half of field 12 that was sugar beet needs ploughing, so I'm going to get that done, and then probably it may well be February when you see me again on here, or possibly March even when we get around to doing some planting. I don't think there's even anything we need to do in February, so I may in the background just step through those months feeding the cows, which is basically all it's going to be, and then when we get to March probably selling off bunch milk because we'll have quite a lot of milk at that point, I suspect, and probably a lot of products from the productions. There is our first box of butter up at the dairy, but I'm going to just let that build up. Here's a question for you. I know a few creators do it. There's one that I first saw with Virtual Farmer. Kartek is doing it, and that is selling off perishables every month. So do you think we should be selling all of the lettuces, the honey, the milk, the butter that we're producing now? Do you think we should be selling that every month, or just leaving it until it's a good point to sell it? Let me know what you think on that one. Obviously the raw milk is being sold every hour, and that's quite a slow process. I'll do a proper video on the dairy. Probably need to do that pretty soon, actually. I love this animation. That's why I just did a kind of normal speed. It's such a good animation. Yeah, I need to do a video on the dairy, probably a separate one, just to explain the functionality and how it works, particularly the raw milk, because if you don't read the mod description, then you won't know that it just sells automatically, and that is just to simulate people, driving past the farm, stopping off, buying some milk from you directly, and yeah, that's why it's there. Pretty much done with the ploughing now. Quick thank you to the patrons and the YouTube channel members. I do appreciate all the support you guys give to the channel. It really helps out. Yeah, just headlands to go now. It really didn't take that long to get this ploughed. I had contemplated actually skipping ahead to the next day so we could do it in the middle of the day when the light was better, but actually it was good enough, I think. Yeah, so just a couple of headlands to go and we will be done, and I think I will probably see you in either the last day of February so we can sell off all the stuff that we've accumulated over the winter, or March when we'll be looking at starting our spring planting, where we're going to go for linseed, isn't it? The new crop. And we'll have some corn to plant and all that kind of thing. And we'll probably be looking at buying the new field then at that point as well. Field 10, I think we're going to purchase. I think I'd rather buy one field than lease two. Leasing, if we can afford it anyway, because leasing feels like kind of dead money. So yeah. That's the ploughing done. So I am going to say thanks for watching, folks. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, click the like button, leave me a comment, and if you're not already, think about subscribing and turning on notifications. And I will catch you next time on Calmsden.